You know, it really feels like 2020. Not only did we have a new Lady Gaga era with Disease, but we were also back in Chapter 2, although it's a bit different, it's been remixed. And so I've returned to my old habits of reviewing seasons once they've concluded, although this one was so I could include the live event. Not that it was worth it, but here we are. 4 years after Galactus visited the island in Nexus War, the second Marvel season of Fortnite, Absolute Doom, dropped. And will it redeem Chapter 5? Because I have not said any of these seasons have been worth it so far. Let's find out as we discuss whether or not Chapter 5 Season 4 was worth it. As always, let's start with the Battle Pass, and unfortunately, it is just the Battle Pass as there was no Mini Pass, so already off to a not so great start, and also if you're not a Marvel fan, there's a higher chance you won't like this pass. And for a main pass, a full collab one is certainly not ideal. Thankfully, they've only done it twice, both times with Marvel, and that is it. Now, where do I stand? I really liked it personally. The first skin is Gwenpool with masked on and off styles, and it's a nicely designed skin, but like all cel-shaded skins, it's ruined by that factor. I get it. It emulates the comics and the fact they're drawn, but I personally just don't like it. It's not what I looked for in Fortnite skins. It's not the Fortnite style. However, I know people do like the skin and I can see why. It's pretty good regardless of the cel shading. Next is War Machine. They honestly nailed the look of this skin with the armor. It's translated really well, and so did the Iron Patriot. Red, white and blue style of the outfit as well. A really well designed skin, even if the shoulder turret takes up a small bit more on the screen. Emma Frost is a really simple skin, but consequently she's also really clean and sleek and somehow makes it work. Her diamond style is really nice as well, and the texture on it looks really shiny. However, her not having an emote to be able to transform between the two is absolutely criminal. All it had to be was the transformation the boss does at the raft. It doesn't need to be anything more. Peelverine sees Wolverine's iconic outfits put onto the iconic Peely skin in Fortnite. From the blue and yellow to the brown and yellow, Epic really made the meme skin of the season look good this time around, and I'm grateful. And finally, after 4 years, we finally got the banana claws that Peely flashed in the Nexus War trailer. However, when is too many Peelys enough? Because I think that's one every single season for Chapter 5. Captain Jonesy is a nice take on Jonesy and Captain America with a combination and remix of the two that somehow just makes sense as two characters to combine. Jonesy rocks the stars and stripes well, and my only real gripe with the skin is that there isn't a style for Jonesy wearing the helmet. But other than that, the outfit is great. After several Spider-Man skins, we finally got Mysterio in the game, and honestly, he's alright. In my opinion, he's probably the weakest skin in the past, just because I never really liked how simple and plain the comic design for Mysterio is, especially after seeing what the MCU did with him and how his design is in that, which is just so cool. And finally, Shuri in her Black Panther outfit. The two styles are both well designed, especially her Black Panther one. It looks really cool, and as the tier 100, it's perfectly good. And then our secret skin, so to speak, an updated Doom skin, who has some nice styles and is very well designed. However, in terms of vibes for me, the original Doctor Doom outfit from 4 years ago is just better in my opinion. Although the new one does clearly look better and more intimidating, which is perfect for Doctor Doom, especially since he's played a bigger part in the story this time around. But that's the Battle Pass, and honestly, even without comparing it to last season's pass, it's 100% worth it. But if you do compare it, it's even more clear that it's worth it. Every outfit is so well designed, and when looking at last season, it's night and day. The Absolute Doom Battle Pass was absolutely worth it. I'm sorry, that was stupid. The season launches, and once again we got some map changes. I gotta hand it to Chapter 5, the map has changed every season and I've enjoyed that. We got the Raft, a prison with Emma Frost as the boss with her scan medallion, which is good for competitive, especially, but in pubs has minimal use apart from scanning the occasional opponent. We also got 3 Doom locations. The first is a small location replacing classy courts called Doom's Courtyard, and it's fine, a bit small. On the left of that location is Doomstat with Mysterio and his invisibility medallion, which is just frustrating to use. And finally, Castle Doom, which is a fantastic location, so well designed with one of Doom's Doombots as the boss. And the Doombot carries a Siphon medallion, which is easily the best medallion in the game because we know how good Siphon is. Doom also has arcane gauntlets, which are honestly nothing special or too overpowered, unlike other weapons added this season. War Machine's Arsenal, Jetpack and Turret were all really overpowered when the season launched, and despite a couple nerfs, they still remain super strong throughout the season. Captain America's shield is also super fun to use to block and throw, although with the item and pickaxe both in the game, it brings up the age-old question of why can't we have lightsaber pickaxes in the game? And I'm starting to think it might be down to Lucasfilm and not Disney, because both are owned by Disney, Marvel and Star Wars. Throughout the season, we got a couple of extra Marvel weapons with Shuri's claws, which were kind of fun. But what was definitely fun was flying around as Iron Man. It was just extremely cool and also some great movement. The game was freshened up with Marvel weapons and map changes into fly around as Iron Man, but while wearing Sky was really cool, and all the Marvel stuff makes the game up enough to make it worth it. Alright, Fortnitemares. We may not have gotten a mini pass, but they gave us a great Fortnitemares with map changes, drastically changing locations, a new location with freaky fields where you can find Billy from the Saw films, defeat him for some loot, and explosive Billy bombs. They also added a chainsaw to the game, which is just a fantastic movement item, as well as so fun to slash people with. Compared to previous Fortnitemares, with this one with challenges and new items and locations, this was 100% worth it. A great amount of content. This season we had 2 live events, a mini one and a main one. The mini event saw Dr. Doom actually arriving to the island and getting in a scrap with the Loopers for an hour before he was swiftly defeated. And so the season story was over 3 weeks before the end of the season. Plus, the cutscene didn't work for me, but it was quite a cool cutscene. However, to have the season story end here just for the prelude to happen the way it did was not worth it at all. There must have been a way to mix the two at the end of the season, which would have made both better in turn. And speaking of the prelude, we just sat at Restored Reels for 20 minutes watching Snoop Dogg and Ice Spice in New York's Times Square play music before they just played the trailers for the new season. As a live event, it wasn't very good, as it just felt more like a watch party, and compared to what Fortnite have done in previous years, it wasn't very good. Still, we still have the finale event on November 30th, so hopefully that's better and more interactive, but I just didn't think this was worth it at all. And so, was Absolute Doom overall worth it? I'd say yes, and I'd probably also say that it was the best season of the chapter. It was fun, and Fortnitemares was actually good for the first time in a while. The events were a bit of a letdown, but that's really it. 8 out of 10. Peace out.